Okay, we want to continue talking about the cost of climate change, and now we want to talk about sea level rise. So this is a picture that shows the southern part of the United States, and the red part of that picture shows parts of the United States that are within 3 feet of the current level of the ocean, so the sea level. And then the yellow part shows parts of the United States that are within 12 feet of sea level. So if climate change causes the temperature of the Earth to increase, then what's going to happen is the ice sheets that are at the North and the South poles will continue to melt, and they're going to start to add fresh water to the oceans. So that means that sea level is going to rise. And so if all of the ice was to melt, then the level of the ocean would go up by about 20 feet. Now that's not probably going to happen, but let's say that it goes up by 5 feet. So if sea level was to go up by 5 feet, you can see that New Orleans would be flooded. And so what they'd have to do would be to build dikes around the city in order to keep the ocean out. And you can also see that parts of Florida would be flooded. So there would be it would cost a tremendous amount of money in order to build those dikes in order to keep the water out. So there are many countries around the world that have coastlines that are very close to sea level, so that a small change in sea level would flood inland in those countries. So another cost of climate might be a change in the global ocean currents. So this shows in orange the warm ocean currents. So that in the Atlantic Ocean, the water is going to be warmed up at the equator. It's then going to flow north towards the poles. When it gets up to the polar regions, it's going to start to cool off, and it's going to start to go down to the floor of the ocean. So the orange lines are showing you the surface currents, and then the blue lines are showing the deep ocean currents. Once that warm water cools off at the poles, it becomes more dense, and so it's going to go down to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, where it's going to flow until it gets to Antarctica. Then it's going to flow around Africa, and then it goes into the Pacific Ocean, where it begins to warm up. As it warms up, it's then going to again come back up to the surface, turn around. Once it gets to the poles in the northern part of the Pacific Ocean, it's going to cool off again, and it's going to go flow along the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, bottom of the Pacific Ocean, goes around Africa again, and then comes back to the equator to complete the cycle. So the picture on the right-hand side shows you a three-dimensional view showing what that water is doing. So how it flows along the surface, and then sometimes it flows along the bottom. So what would be the effect of global warming? Okay, well, one, it could warm up the water more than what it is today. On the other hand, if it warms up too much, it's going to be melting those ice caps at the North and the South poles, and then that's going to be dumping more fresh, cold water into the system. So, depending on how you look at it, it could cause more of cold water to be flowing along the bottom of the ocean, and it also could be causing more warm water to be flowing at the surface. And so we don't have a clear idea of how this could affect the climate, but it certainly could. One thing that it could affect is upwelling of nutrients. So whenever this material, which was flowing along the bottom of an ocean, when it comes back up to the surface, it brings nutrients with it. And then different kinds of fish and plankton are going to be eating those nutrients. So it could have an effect on that. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what is sustainability, and then what can we do to make sure that the earth is more sustainable.